let's talk with Todd Asevedo. He's been with SAP for many years. He's been in the industry for 20 plus years, and he really knows a ton about the HRIS and this idea of the platform that we've talked so much about at Benefit Focus. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun. He's got some great data to share with us today. So come on out, Todd.
All right, good morning, everybody. You guys have a good night last night? Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's get going. First of all, SAP is proud to be here as a sponsor and proud to be a partner with Benefit Focus. I want to talk a little bit about our partnership before we get kicking off. What we do is we provide together an end-to-end human capital management system, and we have a solution extension agreement which means nothing to you other than you can use Benefit Focus and SuccessFactors HCM cloud products with one contract and one service level agreement. So as we go through today, if you guys have any questions, we have a booth next door in the Expo Center. Happy to talk to you about any of the questions you may have. So let's get going. We're going to talk a little bit about change, a little bit, Megan was kind of on that theme of change. We're going to talk a little bit about the digital revolution and what does that mean for the trends in HR, right? So the good thing about working for a company that's got 77,000 employees and regularly posts about $5 to $6 billion in net revenue is we have a lot of smart people. And so I steal their content, and that's what I did today. So guys like Dr. Stephen Hunt, who just wrote Common Sense Talent Management, Carrie Williard, who just put out her second book called Stretch, and who else? We've got Jenny Dearborn, who's leading in the learning space. So these guys have created a bunch of content. We do a lot of study of the analytics of the people who use our software, and so there's a lot of really useful insights, I hope, that we can gain. But I also want to kind of make it fun and interactive. There's going to be a little test at the end, or close to the end, where we talk about what's really different between what we're doing today and what we're seeing in HR and what we did, let's say 15 years ago in HR. So one of the interesting things, and this is, I don't think, a really unique idea to anybody, is that change is constant. I mean, I think we're used to it, right? I mean, anybody here have kids? See, we're all in the same boat. Staying on top of your kids with their digital devices is enough to teach you that you have to stay on top of change. So we're going to talk a little bit about change as we go forward, but I'm going to try to draw the connection between change, the rate of acceleration in change, and how that affects what we do in HR. Because my presupposition is one of the things that I want to do and I want to see in HR that I think will impact the way you're seen in HR, your brand, is really tearing down the walls. And what does that mean? Because we can say all kinds of marketing platitudes, but at the end of the day, it's exposing our processes. So, and what do I mean by that? Exposing processes that, one of the very graphic images I have of walking into a company is the HR department is behind a closed door. It's got a window. There's probably some stickers or something on the window. All I remember of what goes on behind there is that's where I get in trouble, or people get in trouble. Sorry, oversharing a little bit. And there's complex processes, and we don't know what the content is. We really don't know what goes on behind that door, and that perception causes distrust. And what we can do with our technology now is we can deliver a consumer-based experience to our customers, and they can go in and run processes with a web user interface or a mobile interface that they're used to doing on Amazon or eBay or LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. And that demystifies what goes on behind the window or behind the door. And it all, obviously it frees us up to do some other things, but that trust that's gained by that demystification, if you will, is what's going to empower HR. Because at the end of the day, it's relationships that we're seeing from a trending perspective. Relationships are making HR relevant to the business. So I'm not going to use the term seat at the table. I think we're all kind of tired of it, but we really all want to be relevant. So the accelerating pace of change from a global perspective, this is an amazing graphic to me. This is 25 years. And the world, actually the globe, looks different. What we've been able to do as a society or a collection of societies in a global society is change the face of the earth in a very short amount of time in the overall scheme of things, right? So what does that mean for business? So we changed the earth, that's great. We've also changed business. You look at Uber revolutionizing what, taxis? No way. Uber is not a taxi revolution. It is a transportation revolution. Uber will change the way we pick up our laundry, we do our errands. It adds cloud flexibility and elasticity and resource management to the most common things we do every day. We haven't even touched the edge of what Uber is going to do for us and companies like Uber, because there's now imitators that are doing different things within that space. Another one is this little company. Anybody familiar with Tesla? Yeah, Elon is, the idea here is, okay, they've revolutionized cars, right? So this is no longer a hybrid, it's electric, it works everywhere, no engine, no gas. Elon Musk is not about the Tesla. Elon Musk is not even about changing the way we buy cars. We used to buy cars by going in and having an uncomfortable conversation that would take most of the day, where you're not really an informed consumer, but you're doing your best. They're doing their best to get as much out of you as possible. That's not how our friends at Tesla sell cars. You go to the mall, you pick out what you want on a screen, they tell you the price, you pay the price, and you're off to the races. That fundamentally changes that marketplace. But it's not even about that, because what Tesla is about is batteries, stored energy. I mean, think of it. In 5 years, you will not charge your cell phone daily. You may not ever charge your cell phone, because it will be, and yeah, so everybody, round of applause, right? Yeah. And that was my idea. So it's really this idea of stored energy, and we're all going to have some energy, some technology from Tesla, from Elon, hanging on our walls in our houses, and we're going to be adding to the power grid when we're not subtracting from the power grid. So we're always going to be having that conversation with energy. It started as a car. I mean, so think about the difference in what some of these disruptions are doing as change goes. This is another great one, because I live in the Northwest, I live in Bend, Oregon, and I get to spend a lot of time with some of the most unique companies that really are on the face of the earth, because of the way that they interact with their employee and the trust that they have with their employee that resonates to their customer. Companies like Starbucks and Nordstrom and Costco. When Costco puts something on the shelf, I buy it without research, because they've done the research. I trust them. Their employees trust their company. And that's all from the transparency in the HR, well, I wouldn't say it's all from the transparency in HR processes, but that definitely gives the employees one less thing to bitch about, right? This company that you see on the screen, Amazon, is not an e-retailer. It's a supply chain management company. This is the largest retailer in the world with no inventory. Think about it. I mean, it's amazing what this company is going to do to the rest of our lives. I don't even shop for dog food anymore. I have it delivered. And my driveway is long, because I live out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't have to walk up and down with dog food. The UPS guy hates me. So another amazing picture about the changes in our lives. This blows me away. This is a picture of the Vatican when the Pope gets sworn in, or whatever they call that. I'm sure I'm using the wrong word. I'm a Reformed Catholic. What do they call it? Sworn in, okay, yeah. So the Pope gets sworn in. This in the top picture, it was obviously 2005, the second to last Pope, and then look at the difference from the same vantage point in 2013. What happened? It was overnight. We changed the way we take in events, the way we take in major historic. We don't watch stuff anymore. We videotape it or take pictures of it. I mean, Megan is great. The first thing we did when we got here is take a selfie with a selfie stick. It's changed the way we interact with each other. So this is an interesting slide because, well, I actually changed the slide deck this morning because I had to put something in here. I was kind of going through a dry run at home. I was looking at this, and my son, I have a 12-year-old son, my youngest, and if he was the first, he would have been the last. Oh, you guys have one like that too? Okay. His name's Chico, and that's not what we usually call him, but that's what we'll call him today. He sees the slide, and he comes over behind me. I'm sitting at my desk. He comes over behind me, and he puts his arm on my shoulder. He says, "Good for you, Dad. Good for you." I ball up my fist and just smile. So the other thing he says is, this is the same kid, and he didn't say it this day, but a couple of weeks ago, he comes home and says to me, "Dad, we were talking about you in my social studies class, in my social media class." I said, "What's that? A social media class, right?" So he says, "Yeah, we all agreed that you should change your picture." I'm like, "Okay, what do you mean?" He says, "Well, your picture, your profile picture on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, we all were talking about it. We put it up on, and everybody that knows you said that looks like your son or something." So there's new norms and mores coming around in the world about how long that these pictures last. I think, and let's vote. I think that you should take a picture when you're young, and that's your picture. All right, well, we can start that here, okay? So let's do it. So, I'm going backwards. Let me, So, that's what the workforce looks like. Very interesting. This is one of the things that really surprises me when I look at all the trends that are happening in the marketplace from an HR perspective. I look at these things and you say, okay, which of these things is new and which of these things is old? Anybody have an idea? The first one, is that the fully socialized hiring process, is that new or old? That's been around for a long time. Virtual workspaces being important as an embraced concept, it's been around for a long time. Anybody have any idea on this one? That employees will actually switch employers based on their openness to dynamic workspaces. That's new, because people used to not be that mobile, right? And then in 2004, people were still talking about older workers. And people ask me all the time about millennials. The one thing I love about that is, my first response to them, how do you handle millennials? And I said, at SAP, we've been employing millennials, or we've been employing 20-year-olds for many generations. They're no different. They're always pushing the bounds. It's just the bounds are different. Like the things that they're asking us to do are different. So I want to leave you with this. This is, we do collect the trends. It's kind of a takeaway for my 12 minutes. And this is an idea of the things that are here in gold are the things that are new in the HR trends. The rest of it, this is kind of coming from us. We collect a heat map of, in the social media HR world, what topics people are talking about, and these are the topics, right? And over the years, this is the kind of the growing list, but this year you find continuous coaching being a big part of what's going on, and effective healthcare, interestingly enough, is making the heat map for this. So the more things change, the more they stay the same in some instances, but there are new things that are coming and new ways that you guys as benefit professionals can make a difference with the HR space. So with that, I will turn it back over to Shan. Thank you very much. Have a great conference.